Hello, hello. Hey, welcome everyone. How's it going? There we go. There we go. There's always that pause when I hit the... There's always that delay or pause where I hit the go live button. Then it's like, am I live? Am I not? Am I just talking to myself like an idiot? Welcome everyone. Hope you're good. Oh, it's 1:30. The things you do to watch F1, Keegan. Oh, I know. 12:30 here. I've been asleep for the past 3-4 hours. I'm not gonna lie to you, I could still very much be asleep right now as well. But welcome everyone. Hope you're good. Hope you're good. Quali is mad. 4 AM both Saturday and Sunday. Oh, I know. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, when I woke up, I had my alarm set for 12 midnight, and I was like, do I just cancel this stream and just go straight through for the 4 AM quali? I was this close, but I thought no, let's go live. So I sound knackered because I just woke up like 15 minutes ago, pretty much. I did put my alarm on snooze, so don't worry, we'll wake up. We'll wake up. Let's just hope that there's no manhole covers that pop up and make getting up for this practice session not worthwhile. It seems like we didn't really miss much yesterday in relation to FP3 because there was limited running and of course the manholes got in the way. But there we go. Green light, pit exit open. FP3 is underway. So yeah, we should hopefully get some push laps here with this being the last session before we head into quali. You just woke up? I did indeed, yeah. I did indeed. I'm not lazy. I've had a very busy day at work. A long Friday. And I fell asleep on the sofa after having dinner, so... how's the weather in England? Cold. It's -1 currently on my weather app on my mobile, is what it's telling me. And it does feel like that as well. It does feel like that. So yeah, it's cold in the UK right now. Dry, but cold. Not sure how you deal with this 10:30 AM FP session. As I said, I'm not complaining. I'm trying not to complain. But it is tough. God forbid if I lived anywhere else in the world and had to do what you guys do as F1 fans down under on the regular. Credit to you. Credit to you. But welcome everyone. Hope you're good. Yeah, I'll be up fully. I haven't had a coffee yet either. I'm purposely not having a coffee because I do want to go to sleep in intermediate highs. Sorry, what is it? Is it? Sorry, what? It's not raining. It said low grip conditions. They are out there on inters. I've got the TV coverage on, and they are on inters. Oh, it is a little bit wet. I'm watching the TV coverage, and there is a bit of spray actually being thrown off of the circuit as I'm watching Oscar Piastri do his outlap. So, oh, okay. We have had a sprinkle of rain before FP3. Although, the only bit of wetness I've seen on track is literally from turn 4 to turn 5. It does seem like the rest of the track seems to be okay. But of course, the last thing you want to do is risk it. I just saw Lewis Hamilton have a bit of a snap of oversteer. Oh no, there definitely are some wet patches. No, I'm watching on board of Lewis Hamilton now. It's definitely wet out there. Well, that's intriguing. Very cool track conditions as well, as you can see. 13.7 degrees. Interesting. They're killing me with these times. I know. I'm all good. I'm not complaining now. I'm not complaining. At the moment, it's too wet for slicks, is what Oscar Piastri has just come on the radio and said. So, interesting. Did not expect to see intermediate tyres. Gonna be like, yeah, it's gonna be like driving on ice. I know, 13.7 degrees. Ooh. They're doing very well, Peter. Yeah, little one's good. So she's tucked up in bed, as is the missus as well. So, can I do a loudness test, Luca? This is probably, I'll probably get just a little bit louder than this. Hopefully not too loud because everyone is asleep in the flat. So I've been told, I've been read the riot act, guys. I've been read the riot act. I need to be careful when it comes to my commentating voice for quali and the race tomorrow, because of course it is happening at 4 a.m. and if I wake up the baby, the missus is not going to be very happy. So I will be streaming quali. Yes, I will be. Yeah, in a few hours' time. We have that live stream set up, so all you have to do is just wait for me to end this live stream when FP3 ends, and it will send you straight over to the quali live stream. So you don't have to do anything at all. Getting up at 4 a.m. on a regular makes sport feel special and different because of the effort to watch it. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it definitely does. It doesn't, like, now I'm awake, I'm like, great. I'm great. I'm happy I'm doing this. But you asked me 15 minutes ago, I was not saying the same. I did not have that same attitude that I have right now. So if I wake up the baby, you ain't making it to the race stream. Yeah, exactly. So the mic will be very close to my mouth later on, and I'm going to have to try and not be as loud. So it may be a different commentating experience. I may have to try and be a little bit more reserved than I normally am, guys. But more than everyone, hope you're good. Hope you're good. Do I think Alonso can race for the championship next year? If he gets the car, yeah, it's like anything really. If there's a number of drivers up and down this grid that I think can challenge for world championships, if they are provided the race car. That is the aim of the game, isn't it, in F1? And we've seen many talented driver not have the car underneath them. It's weird to say, isn't it? Fernando Alonso last won a race in 2012. So I think it was 2012 was the last time he won a race. I think it was Spain, his home race at Barcelona when he was racing for Ferrari. So ASMR commentating, yeah. My favourite driver, I've always been open with this, it is Lewis Hamilton. Fernando Alonso, speaking of Fernando, is the only driver out there on slicks. So let's see how this plays out for him. So if anyone is looking at the TV coverage, it's not very wet out there, but there are enough wet patches out there for it to be an issue, which is why they're on intermediates. So I imagine there will be enough running on slicks, but it's probably not suitable right now. There's still enough wet patches out there. Just a slow transition to the slicks, yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And of course, the last thing that you want to do right now is bin your car. So we'll keep a keen eye on Fernando Alonso. I'm sure the teams up and down the grid will be also looking at Fernando Alonso just to see if it is suitable for slicks. Of course, they'll be listening to the drivers first and foremost. What's happening to Verstappen? Nothing's happening to Verstappen. He's just gone on an out lap. So they had a very interrupted FP2 yesterday, didn't they? So they weren't able to achieve what they wanted to achieve. So this is going to be a session where they have specific run plans that they have. Of course, the intermediates is not ideal either. They'd love to be on slicks right now to get some proper data. Although the intermediates will be working okay. Yeah, it looks very greasy out there. So on board with Esteban Ocon, it's just for the slower corners. Is he flat through turn 17. Oh, yeah, he is flat through turn 17. So Max on a flying lap. He is now. Yeah, he will be now. Good day, Joey. Good day. Oh, what's this? Replay Lewis Hamilton. Breaking down into turn 1. Oh, he went straight on at turn 1. Couldn't get the car slowed down enough. So they are struggling a little bit out there. What happened with Max as well? Oh, Max got the rear out. Nearly touched the wall on exit through turn 5 as Lando goes quickest with a 1:46.8. But I don't believe there is rain forecast for the qualifying later. I could be wrong there. Let me have a check. Let's have a check. Vegas. I mean, there is a little bit in the air, supposedly. There is a little bit. 9%, 14%. When qualifying's on in a few hours' time, so. Who do I think will win the championship now? Lando. He's got, what is the gap right now? Is it 24 points? So 23 points. Yeah, it's definitely his to lose right now with the advantage that he has with obviously few races remaining. So if he beats Oscar, I mean, look, the McLaren is not going to be the strongest here this weekend, and it's for him particularly. It's a match play scenario. It's about him having to just beat Piastri. Obviously, the same is for Oscar as well, but he needs to try and close that gap down more significantly than just finishing one place ahead of Lando, because there's only 2 more race weekends remaining. So it's freezing tonight, TC. You're up in the heating. Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit. I mean, I've got a t-shirt on right now, but it is a bit chilly. But this monitor that I have here is like a radiator itself. It really does keep me nice and warm. If Lando gets a DNF, it's possible here and Max wins this race in Qatar with Lando placing 3rd or 2nd. Would he have more points? I mean, look, it's all ifs and buts. There's so many different like kind of permutations to if Lando did have DNFs. For Max in particular, he needs 2 DNFs from Lando in the next 3 races. Oh, there's a yellow. Alex Albon's got on. Is there an escape road down at turn 5? I actually don't know if there is. Everyone is on the intermediates now, by the way. Fernando Alonso is on the intermediates. Yeah, Alex Albon's got going again. So there is an escape road down at the end of turn 5. I'm actually just watching the onboard now of Carlos Sainz, and they're very tetchy, shall we say. Lots of corrections of the steering wheel. It looks very... It doesn't look nice to drive out there right now, put it that way. And it particularly looks very wet through that section of turn 5 to turn 9. So the second sector does look very wet right now, whereas the remainder of the sectors look okay. So it's an odd track state right now. It is an odd track state. There's not really any spray being thrown up, but there's enough like kind of standing water, greasiness on the circuit with obviously the cooler track temperatures, which is making slicks not possible right now. And there's a correction there, but Fernando Alonso was not on the mediums. He was actually on the intermediates, as we can see everyone on there now. But yeah, but going back to it, Max Verstappen, ultimately, the championship is outside of his control. 49 points is difference between him and Norris, and he needs Norris to, have 2 DNFs or have 2 2 shocking races where he finishes outside the points and Max wins. So yeah, just watching Alex Albon, and he just couldn't get that car slowed down enough. So they are struggling with their braking out there. Lewis Hamilton, fastest last sector for him. So there was supposedly, while I missed it yesterday, FP2, supposedly Hamilton did say he was a lot more happier with the car from FP1 to FP2. Of course, he was quick in the first sector, but losing time for the second and last, especially in comparison to Leclerc, who was quicker than him in FP1. But he said they did make improvements with the car to FP2, but he just wasn't able to get a lap time in, like many, when it came to that session with the red flag for the manhole cover. You're all for Oscar here, but the hopium can only last for so long. Yeah, look, for both Oscar and for Lando, for both Oscar and for Max, it's outside of their control. Because even the thing for Oscar, right, is the reason it's kind of the reason it's outside of his control now is that even if Oscar won every single race, he needs it's technically not enough, because Lando, if he finished second, of course, big ifs, but if Oscar won every single race, including the sprint race next week in Qatar, that would only be, at best, if Lando finished second in all of those races to Oscar, that would still only be 22 points advantage, because there's 7 points between first place and second, and then, of course, in the sprint race, there's only 1 point difference. That's 20. 21 and 1 is 22, and he's got a 24-point gap difference. So that's technically why it's out of his control. Of course, it would be a big if Lando was to finish second in all of those behind Piastri. It's definitely possible for Oscar to do that, but the problem is that the McLarens here don't look like they're probably going to be the fastest car. So Stuffey with golf commentary. Fast lap by Oscar. Yeah, the track's getting there. The track is getting there. It's still not good enough for slicks. Track evolution is a big factor here, guys. So the later you go out, of course, the more benefits you have of setting a quicker lap time. However, there is always the risk when it comes to qualifying that there will be a yellow flag. So, yeah, it's whether or not it's how you weigh up those odds. So track evolution is going to be key. We're going to see qualifying be very interesting and chop and change throughout the session. Hey, hello. Good to see you. Thank you, mates. You're a new F1 fan, Ariel. And picked the driver who sounded the most chill guy and accidentally picked Oscar leading the World Drivers' Championship. You accidentally picked the driver who was leading the championship? I'm only kidding. No, it's you support who you want to support. At the end of the day, there's some people prefer... F1's unique because some people prefer following teams and they're not so attached to the drivers and they'll support whichever driver drives to their team. And then some support the drivers more. So I personally don't have any strong affiliations to any teams. I've always been more so followed the driver. But yeah, it is a unique sport in that sense compared to other sports. Because most sports where there's teams, you follow the team, don't you? You have individuals that you like, and maybe if they go to another team, you're like, I hope they do well, but you don't want them to do so well that obviously they do better than your own team. But yeah, in F1, people tend to more so, I'd say, the majority of fans follow the driver than the team. So, what's my quali predictions, Alpha? My quali predictions are still as they were. I still think Max is going to dig out a performance. I don't think they've turned that engine up at any point this weekend thus far, and we know he's got that additional horsepower to his advantage, which he used in Brazil. So I think Ferrari definitely look like they can mix it up there, and Mercedes as well. So I'm still going to stick with my guns and go Max P1, George P2. Maybe I think Charles actually, you know what? I think Charles may get P2 and George P3, but in the race, I think Max wins, George second. Ferrari, someone did mention there about Elagto for Ferrari. Yeah, I just don't see Ferrari having a car that can last the race distance and go at the pace that is necessary to hold on to a podium here with probably how close with how competitive it's probably going to be. Ollie in the points would be great. Yeah, he's on a good run of form. Usually have a top field favourite and a midfield favourite at Team Sports. Yeah, it is a bit like that, isn't it? It's almost like you've got two divisions going on at once in F1. Formula A and Formula B. So you pick a team who's going to be consistently fighting for the championship, and then you have that underdog team who, the midfield team. Finally, the race is in the morning, not at night. You can sleep well. At least some of you can. Antonelli has been out driving Russell. Antonelli has outdriven Russell once this season. Let's get it right. While I think Kimi has had a very good rookie season, let's get it right. He outdrove George at one race this year, which was the last race in Brazil. So let's not get onto the whole recency bias thing. And the reason why I say George will fare better than Kimi here this weekend is George won here last year. He has experience of coming here, and Kimi has never been here before. So getting up to speed at a track that you, even though if you're on good form and you've got a good car underneath you, getting up to speed at a track where you've never been to before, and your teammate has won here previously and has a lot of confidence, it's going to be tricky to beat him here in that regard. I believe Norris will get P3 as he has seemed a bit off the pace, but then on off. I don't know. I think a podium is... I think personally for McLaren, I just don't see them getting a podium. I think if they get a podium, it's because there's maybe some mistake. There's probably mistakes from others. But yeah, we'll see. Not long to find out. Will I be here tonight for qualifying in the race tomorrow? Oh, of course I will be. You only support one driver in Nikita Mazepin. You support Saubers, you cheer like we won the World Driver Championship whenever we get P10. Yeah, it's unique sport in that sense, isn't it? Like you cheer for them when they get into the top 10 and stuff, or it's amazing when they get a podium. Like winning isn't always like the be all and end all for a lot of drivers, because obviously it's not possible for a lot of drivers and teams. So that is celebrated like a win. What do I think of Lewis's helmet? Yeah, I think it's quite snazzy. Wouldn't like him to wear it every race weekend, but I think it works under the lights, and considering it's in Vegas, it's very apt for where we are. As he goes to the top of the timing screen, so a 42.8. So still on the intermediates, still not suitable yet for the slick tyre. For those of you just joining, welcome, welcome. The track was wet, not like wet everywhere, so that you're seeing spray being thrown up. Even now, there's not really spray that's being thrown up, but it's very greasy, and there are some wet areas, particularly through Sector 2, where Lewis Hamilton is finding himself going through right now around the sphere. So, yeah, not suitable for the slicks, and you can see the track temperature is very cold, 13.5 degrees. Oof. Hey, Dexterity. Someone said, Johnny, you feel bad for Franco. Hope he will have a good weekend. Yeah, look, Lance Stroll, Colapinto made some comments, which I did a video on, which didn't go down too well with a few Argentinian fans. And I get that. You want to back your boy. But I do feel like Colapinto's comments about Lance Stroll have kind of come out of nowhere and seem... Look, I'm not Stroll's biggest fan. We know that on this channel. And yes, there is Stroll. Us as fans, we've criticised Stroll correctly for a lot of mistakes in the past. However, Lance Stroll actually hasn't, for what Colapinto's having a go at Stroll at, he actually hasn't, as I stated in that video, he actually hasn't been at fault for those. So Colapinto has just been, I don't know. I mean, even though he signed a new contract, it seems Colapinto is just, Stroll's got under his skin a bit, really. And he's just living in his head rent-free right now. And Stroll doesn't really kind of know why, because he's kind of just been going about his own business. And rightfully so, whether you think it's right for Stroll to say or not, but I personally think it is, where he says he needs to just... I don't know why he's coming at me. I think he needs to just focus on himself and concentrate on scoring a point, because yeah, the points don't lie. He is in a car that is the only car on the grid that is yet to score a single point. So, where they have had a car possible to do so, because Pierre Gasly has showcased that. So, yeah. Why is Vegas always so cold? Because it's in the deserts. Deserts get cold at night. Stroll messed up once this year. That was when he bonked Ocon. Otherwise, he's had a solid year. Stroll even put his hands up and said he goofed. Yeah, I think from Stroll's standards, which isn't obviously very high, but I think Stroll has had an okay year with the machinery he's had underneath him. Both him and Alonso. Look, Alonso has clearly outperformed him. That's that. The points table doesn't show the whole picture. Fernando Alonso was unlucky at the start of the year. He was in a lot of point scoring positions when he then had DNFs, mechanical DNFs. And the car just wasn't very quick for a lot of this season. We know that. Stroll, speaking of Stroll, he's on the softs. So the first driver out there on slicks. Oh, this could backfire. But yeah, he's definitely been second best to Alonso, that's for sure. But he still picked up points. He still had some decent results this year, particularly in wet conditions. And yeah, I like to give everyone a fair opportunity. And look, if Stroll was at fault for what happened with that Bortoleto incident at lap 1 at Brazil, then I would have rightfully called him out for it. Hence why I did the analysis on it. But no, he was entitled to put his car where his car was, and it was Bortoleto who should have backed out of it. And he even said himself, Bortoleto, that it was he doesn't hold Stroll accountable there for that, whereas Colapinto more does so. So yeah, it just seemed a bit of an odd comment for Colapinto to come out and say. It seems like some sour grapes still for what happened on lap 1, which we also looked at back in Mexico. So 30% chance that Stroll finds a way to beach his car in a gravel trap. It would be very hard to do so here because there isn't any gravel traps here. But you'll be forever grateful for Stroll in Brazil last year because he allowed Max's impeccable drive. Do I think the McLarens will struggle in this track? Yes. Yeah, I do. Struggle is in relation to the top teams and to their high standards. Fun fact, Stroll scored 10 points at Vegas, Norris 9 points and Piastri 8 points. Really? Stroll has more points here at Vegas than both the McLaren drivers. Wow. Yeah, this is a bogey track for them. It is. So Stroll isn't on the softs, he is on the intermediate still. Why haven't the Alpines and Saubers left the pit lane? Probably just not thinking it's worth it right now. So they're showing the weather radar on screen right now, guys, on the TV coverage. And there is actually a big pocket of rain that looks like it could be on its way over the circuit. So could we get a wet qualifying at Vegas in a few hours' time? Or even get some more rain before this session is over and done with? I mean, we're already halfway through it. That's not ideal, is it? That's not ideal for these teams in their data gathering, for their setups, and of course for their push laps as well, which they still haven't really. A lot of drivers haven't been able to get a proper push lap in here. A few drivers got one in FP1, but a lot of drivers had theirs interrupted. So, and they definitely got them interrupted yesterday with the red flags. So there's not rain on the track just yet, guys. No, but there was rain prior to it, and it's looking very greasy out there. That's the best way to describe it. It's a greasy track surface. There's not a conscious amount of spray being thrown off of the tyres, but it's cold. It's 13.3 degrees, and the water is just, or the greasiness, that little bit of water that's still left out there on circuit just isn't dissipating. It's just not going anywhere. It's not evaporating, even with these intermediate tyres running over them. So. You're living in Italy right now, and the race starts at 5. Oof, yeah, 4 for me. I was in Italy last week. I went to Rome with the missus for 4 days. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. The food. Oh, if anyone at any point in their life can make their way to Rome, gotta try the pizza out there. Oh my God. I'm not having pizza anywhere else in the world again unless I am in Italy. Because, oh, woo, lovely. And the pasta, of course. Okay, is that true that Norris is out on softs, by the way, right now? Is that true? We will see. Did I roam around? I did, and I did make that joke as well, to the Mrs. Delight. I was like, let's go for a roam in Rome. And I did use the well, look, when in Rome. I can't remember the context of it, but I think we did a ton of walking. We did 30 miles of walking in 3 days, basically, because we got there Friday afternoon. And my back I felt like a proper old man Saturday night. My back was in pieces just with all the walking that I did. Over 30,000 steps, but a great experience, as I said, seeing all the historic sites and stuff. So, you're watching while building an F1 Lego set? Sounds chill. Sounds chill. So, I do believe, I'm yet to have it confirmed on the TV coverage, but I do believe that we have the soft tyres out there right now on Lando Norris and maybe Liam Lawson. We will see when Norris, I guess, does some sector times. TV coverage is saying he's on the intermediate, so not seen it yet, but we'll keep a keen eye on Lando. Is he on the softs? He is. Lando is on the softs. Confirmed. Lando is on the softs. So let's see how this plays out for him. Tyre warm-up. He's not going to go quick, I imagine, in the first couple of laps because it's bone cold out there at the moment, just over 13 degrees. But let's see how it fares for him. You're in Germany right now and visited the Nürburgring. It was cool, but it wasn't able to go in that far. You walked close to it. Oh, nice one. Yeah, hopefully I'll get out there one day as well. Lawson's got corrected to Inters. Okay. But yeah, Lando is definitely on the softs right now. Definitely. That's probably what everyone is assessing, whether or not it's suitable for the softs. Do I think equality will be build, push? Yes, 100%. I think it's going to be multiple outlaps before they go for a push lap, yeah. We are going to see multiple laps on the same tyre because track evolution is a factor and the degradation is so low because of the cool conditions. But yeah, we've seen the tyre warm-up here is very difficult. So some drivers, some teams are going to fare much better at it than others. But I think at minimum, yes, it's going to be 2 outlaps and then a push lap. Oh my goodness, Lando. Whew, squirrely through the first couple of corners. You can see from the overhead shots that there is still a lot of the track is still so greasy. There's not really like a proper dry line that's formed. So you can see 32. So only the last sector was green there for Lando. And that's 8th fastest right now. So he's going to have to build into this. He's going to get quicker and quicker each lap, I presume. But at the moment, the first and second sector is still very greasy. Of course, the third sector is from turn 12 all the way to the start-finish line. So the only thing they have to contend with is turn 14, 15, and 16 there. So that's why the last sectors can be improved upon. So Piastri also out on softs as well now. You loved Italy. You went to Riccione near San Marino. Oh, I'm not sure where that is, Tasha. But yeah, I definitely want to go back. I think Florence is the next one on my list for going back to Italy. I'd love to go to Florence. I've heard very good things about Florence. Rain incoming, JT. Yeah, it does seem like it. That's what it looked like on the weather radar that they showed. So driver's getting out there on the softs now. I'm watching Lando's on board, and he's just gone wide. He's just had to. He hasn't been able to make the turn into turn 7. He had to cut the chicane there through turn 7 across 9. So it's still super sketchy out there at the moment. It's super sketchy. Just watching the replay, and yeah, there's just that tight section, the corner through turn 6 into turn 7 is really tricky. Really tricky to try and get the car slowed down. Of course, the front's very tricky to get temperature in them at the best of times, let alone in these conditions right now. But drivers going out there on the softs. It's so interesting because there's no spray, but because it's so cold, nothing is drying up. Yeah, definitely. You can see from the overhead shots, if anyone who's watching any coverage, I'm sure if you go on social media, you'll be able to see some overhead shots. And there's not like a clear defined line, white line, like dry line. It's a very greasy circuit right now. Is the best way to describe it. And because it is so cold, yeah, the water's just not evaporating. It's a desert thing, Joey. Exactly. But particularly the braking into turn 7 is tricky. What do? You lost the remote and can't watch race quality or FP3? Oh, you stay tuned into this watch-along. That's what you do. Qualifying would be intriguing in these conditions. Oh, yes. Yeah, that would definitely throw up a very unique grid. A very unique grid come this tomorrow, wouldn't it? Must go to Slovenia is simply stunning. Yeah, that's one. I have heard that as well. Yeah, there's definitely what it's done for us is that this is our first city break since we went to Amsterdam when we first got together. So yeah, we want to do more. We want to do more. We want to do one city break like at least once a year now. So. Bit of just me time between me and the missus, and little one can stay at grandparents. Vegas is low key really good. Is really good in sim racing for me. Very enjoyable. Yeah, never raced it. Of course, I'm not a big fan of the F1 games, but I imagine. I mean, look, it's provided some good racing. I've been pleasantly surprised with the races that we have seen here. I wasn't enamored when this track was announced and when this track map was released. It was like, ugh, what is this? This looks uninspiring. But no, it's definitely has provided some good racing. So Oscar Piastri has gone fastest in the last sector. He's just gone fastest in the last sector, Oscar Piastri. So that last sector is starting to ramp up a bit. They're still some way off the fastest times. They're still in the first sector, 2 seconds off the pace on the slicks. In the first sector, 29.5s is what they were doing. Although Max has just gone up to 3rd place, so he's managed to find some time, and Hamilton. So there we go. There we go. They're starting to find some time in that first sector now. A line is forming. Let's see how the middle sector is. Lewis will probably get his lap time maybe interrupted here, as there's a bit of traffic ahead of him. I can't show any of any footage, Rainbow. No, because for copyright reasons. Has Lewis gone green in that second sector, or has he had to bail out of it? No, purple. Okay, so grip. There is grip being found out there right now, guys. Still only really... actually, that middle sector was about 8 tenths quicker. Nearly a second quicker. There you go. You see Charles just gone quickest in the first. So there's clearly a dry line forming now. With more cars out on circuit, there's a dry line forming now. Wonder if Lewis would have had his last sector here compromised with this traffic. It does look like an upside-down pig, yeah. Spider pig. Spider Pig does whatever Spider Pig does. Yeah, Lewis's last sector there compromised. He had to back out of it at 42.8. So still yet really to put a proper decent flying lap in, Lewis. Every single push lap he's been on on the softs has come to... Oh, what happened there with Lewis? Actually, Lewis nearly just ran into the back of someone at the end of the strip. Liam Lawson. Lewis nearly just ran into the back of Liam Lawson. But was Lawson at genuine fault there for that? I need to see it again. I just caught the end of it. Charles Leclerc slow in the middle sector. So he lost a bit of time. But still quickest, a 41.867. So watching Lewis Hamilton as he was coming down the end of the strip, sees all the flashing lights ahead of him. Oh my goodness gracious me. What was going on there? Lewis nearly just rear-ended Liam Lawson. Oh my God, that's so close. To be fair, Lawson has nowhere to go. He's following the traffic ahead of him. That's a bit of a misjudgment by Lewis. But that was... Whoa, that was very close. Too close for comfort. My knowledge of F1 is astounding. Thank you, Sandra. Yeah, I just love the sport, really. Just love the sport. I'm a bit of a sponge. I take in a lot of... I have a lot of useless information up here as well. Of a lot of varying topics. But yeah, the topics that I am definitely interested in, F1 being one of them. Yeah, it just stays in there. It's the only way you watch F1 now. Goddamn TV licenses. Do enjoy it more, though. Get to see so much more on TV coverage. That's exactly my viewing experience as well. I've said it before. Of course, while I am commentating and stuff, I feel lost if I don't have the data and the track map in front of me. I actually don't need to watch the TV coverage anymore. As I said, it's there as a support for like I use it as like a replay tool for you guys. But on the rare occasion since I've been doing these watch-alongs where I've only been able to watch the TV coverage, I feel lost. There's so much that you just don't get. You don't get a full picture of the race. I look tired as F. Yeah, I am tired. I'll be going back to sleep for a couple of hours after, straight as this ends, this FP3 session. We won't be sticking around to chat for too long, that's for sure, as Max is finding time out there. So remember, track evolution is key here, guys. It has been a very wet and greasy circuit, which is why you can see the intermediate tyres that have been used initially. But drivers are out there on the softs now on a very cold Vegas circuit. If you're just joining us, welcome, welcome. But you can see purples, green sectors being thrown about left, right and centre at the moment as the track is getting quicker and quicker. I'll be live for Quali, Minty. Yep, definitely will do. You don't need to do anything. When I end the stream, it will send you straight to the Quali stream, and you can just leave that open. Lawson up there to P2. Max 2 seconds quicker. So yeah, look, they're starting to find some time now. More cars out there on circuit. Track starting to dry up a bit more. Dry line forming. Oh, thank you, Meta. Much appreciated. Quali, what time is Quali? It is at 4 AM local time for me. So that is just under 3 hours time. So it'll be when FP3 ends, it'll be 2.5 hours from when Quali gets underway. The green tyre type is the intermediate tyre. So it's obviously it's a wet weather tyre basically, but it's not as it's quicker than the wet tyre. Look at that. Trading positions, left, right, and centre. You can see the advantage of track evolution there. I mean, Charles Leclerc... Look, Yuki Tsunoda's 6 corners ahead of Charles there. And Charles has gone 6 tenths quicker. Like, that's the nature of the circuit right now in track evolution. Hamilton is unlucky with cars on track. He is. Yeah, he keeps hitting traffic. He could hopefully he's got a bit of a gap in front of him now, and he's just gone 8 tenths quicker than Charles Leclerc in that middle sector. That middle sector is ramping up. There's a lot of grip now being found in that middle sector, whereas previously it wasn't. So, all be good. A good braking zone here for Lewis down into turn 14. As George Russell's just gone fastest in the first sector. So Hamilton is probably going to set purple here. and finally get a decent lap time in. And it is fastest. 9 tenths quicker. Woo! So there you go. There you go. It was 8 tenths quicker alone in that middle sector, Lewis, compared to everyone else. So we'll see how George fares in that middle sector as he go purple. As he exits turn 12. And for George Russell, it's only green. 6. Mate, that's a mega, absolutely mega middle sector by Lewis Hamilton, by the way. Where has he pulled that from? That was... I'm just looking at everyone else right now. Let's see what Max does. Max is going to be a good benchmark here. Max has just gone 4 tenths quicker in the first sector alone than everyone else. So he's found a significant amount of time in the first sector. And then there you go. He's just found 2 tenths on Hamilton in the middle sector as well. So yeah, there we go. Track starting to ramp up now for the big boys. That's the nature of how quick this track can ramp up, though. Like, Max has just gone... Lewis stuck 8 tenths on everyone, and now Max is sticking not the same margin, but a large margin to Lewis as well. This is going to be probably half a second quicker, maybe even more. As Charles is now taken purple away from him. So, yeah, there you go. Half a second, 36.8 to Lewis Hamilton there. And Charles Leclerc has just gone purple in the first sector as well. Why have people just sat in the pits the entire time? Probably because they just felt they weren't going to get any relevant information on the intermediate tyre. Probably, look, we're at the latter stages of the season, where of course cost cap and there's not a lot of spare parts and things like that. So the last thing they want to do is go out there in intermediates and probably risk a crash. There's also that element to it as well. We know that Alpine don't have necessarily a lot of money behind them right now for the remainder of the season. Stake F1, of course, transitioning to Audi. So, yeah. You'd love the Sphere in the centre of the track. The Dead Company have a great show there. Yes, I'd definitely like to go there and see the Sphere. There's so many opportunities, isn't there, for some good shows in there. Why are some drivers not using DRS on a push lap? Because they just don't want to. And probably on long runs. Wanting to see how the top speed of the car is with just the rear wing closed. Lewis again finding time in that middle sector. That's good. That bodes well for Lewis because he was struggling in that middle sector yesterday in FP1. That's really where the car was lacking, especially in relation to Charles. So clearly found some good balance in that Ferrari from FP1 to FP2. It's a couple of attempts off of Charles, though, in the first sector. But quicker in the second as George goes fastest in the first now. So you can see here, purple after purple's being set. Track getting quicker. Cold tyres, cold track surface as well. So the tyres are lasting forever. Which corner is the Sphere at, Annie? It's at turn 7. So it's inside turn 7 and turn 8 there in that section. So it's like here where my mouse is right now. So as they go round turn 6, it's like here, I think. Something like that. It's on the inside. Did Leclerc get a penalty for changing the gearbox? No, he did not. No more penalties for gearbox changes. Yeah, it used to be, but you only got a certain allocation, but not anymore. Ferrari come out of the woodworks this one. Well, the problem with Ferrari is that they may, as I said, they may mix it up in qualifying. They very well may. However, I still have little to no faith when it comes to race day for them. Anyone who's been paying any sort of attention for this season and has listened to any radio messages will know that they are told to lift and coast very, very early on in the race. And I expect, even with the cooler track conditions here, I expect that to be no different for them. But I still expect Max to be strongest here. He's been a bit quiet this weekend at the moment in the opening sessions. He's got a brand new power unit in the back of that car. At a circuit where it's low downforce, you need the top speed. That extra power is going to serve him very well, just like it did at Interlagos. So Max is still the man to beat for me, personally. America. Watkins Glen, Laguna Seca are top 10 tracks. They are very good tracks. I've never been to the US, actually. We be having trust issues with Ferrari. Exactly. We've been here too many times, guys. We've been here too many times. Fool me once. What's the saying? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me 22 times, as it's round 22, shame on me. Quickest Lyco call was Mexico lap 13. It was actually sooner than that, Elbu. I thought it was lap 13. He actually got informed of lift and coast on lap 3 in Mexico. Lap 3. Oh, it's unbelievable being told to lift and coast from lap 3. Like, and Lewis was like, I'm already lift and coasting 200 meters. Like, what more do you need me to do? Ridiculous. When is the return of the shirt, Peter? I may get it back out tomorrow. Thought I was vaping? No, just water. Trying to keep those vocal cords lubricated. What is lift and coast, Sammy? So lift and coast is when you... So let's say the braking marker is 100 meters and you're supposed to brake on the 100-meter board. It means that you lift, so you release off of the brake pedal, off of the throttle pedal, accelerator pedal, 100 meters prior to it, 50 meters prior to that braking zone, where you'd normally brake. And the main reason for it is a couple of reasons you do it. One is for fuel. 2 is to save the engine so that you're putting less stress on the engine because you're spending less time at the top end of the rev limiter. And the other one is to ensure that the car doesn't squat as much into the floor. So Ferrari's main issue this year, of course, is that they can't run their car as low as they'd like to because of the plank wear, which means they can be disqualified, which they've been disqualified once this season in China. And as the car goes faster, the more the car is pushed down into the floor through downforce. So if you lift off before that peak top speed that you get at the end of a straight by lift and coasting, it just means that you're saving the plank wear, you're saving fuel, less stress on the tyres into corners as well, because you're able to, obviously you're not going into corners as quickly. So yeah, overall lift and coast is not a good thing because it means that you go slower. You lift your foot, you lift your foot off the accelerator sooner. So, but that's the main reasons as to why it is done. So lap time's starting to converge a bit more here now. George Russell was 0.88. Interesting, Alex Albon went fastest in the first sector there out of anyone, as Norris has gone fastest in the middle sector. But his first sector time is a couple of attempts off of George. So, okay, let's see if this is an improvement here for Norris. It's going to be an improvement on his lap time, but how quick would it be compared to those top boys at the moment at the top of the timing screens? Hamilton looks really confident. He does seem a lot more confident, yeah. Here we go, Norris coming across the line now. What does he set? Purple in the middle, and it is... he went in the pit lane. Boo. Boo. We wanted to see what that lap time was going to be. '2026 is going to be Lyco for everybody. Yeah, who knows what's going to happen with the whole battery regeneration stuff. It's going to be an interesting way of driving for these guys next season. What did I think of the new Audi F1 car? I don't really have any thoughts on it, to be honest, Johan. It's just a promotional thing. The car itself is just the model that the FIA have provided for the 2026 cars, and they just had their colours on it. So it was just a brand thing, wasn't it? A brand announcement, really. So no comment really on it. Stroll faster than Colin Pinto. This can only end well. It looks like it's going to be flood conditions to the race. Is it going to be like that? The Sphere is a great advertisement tool, isn't it? Just saw them showing an American Express advert on the Sphere. Very expensive advertisement tool. But welcome, everyone. Hope you are good. Hope you are well. Oh, we've got over 1,100 viewers in here. When did that happen? But welcome. Yes, FP3, but a bit of a strange one. If you're just tuning in towards the end of this session, 5 minutes remaining, just over 5 minutes remaining. And yeah, Max Verstappen is top. The track has been ramping up. We have drivers out there on another brand new set of softs in just the closing stages. So we should maybe even see some quicker lap times here. But the track was very greasy to start off with. You can see the intermediate tyre was used at the start of this session. It's now cleared up. Track evolution is definitely a factor. As you can see, Liam Lawson gone fastest in the first sector out of anyone. So, yeah, it's going to get quicker and quicker as the day goes on. If it stays dry and we have no further rain. But there is potentially rain in the air from what we've seen from the weather radars. So, yeah, it could be a mixed-up grid come end of qualifying in a few hours' time, as Bortoleto goes quickest now in the first sector. So, there we go. Is anyone going to have any rubber after the first corner if FP1 is anything to go by? Yeah, they will. They will. Astons are no different than trucks in this circuit. Yeah, Astons aren't great when it comes to the high-speed circuits. They need downforce. Any track that requires a low downforce setup is not their strong suit. How many laps can the soft tyres go? Good question. Oof. So it's a 50-lap race here. I'm going to say it's going to be a one-stop, probably a simple one-stop. I reckon, yeah, probably, I wouldn't say half the race, but 20 laps at least, I think they can go on. Regarding regs, are they changing the ICE and the battery to 50-50 in terms of power in the car? So that was the initial regulations. As Albon is the first driver to go sub 27 seconds in the first sector there, guys. I think they changed it. I think it's been changed to 60-40 now, is what the power split has been. Or maybe even 70-30, because they were just realising that 50-50 wasn't working. They were running out of battery usage before the end of the straights. I wouldn't be surprised if you could stretch the softs to 25 laps. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me either, to be fair. Lance and Franco to throw down in the pits. Vegas is the place to do it. Verstappen, fastest in the first sector at 26.828 there. Not a good first sector for Lewis, 27.3. What was the pole time here for last year? It's a very good question. I don't know. Let's have a check. Let's have a check. We know that these cars are on average a second quicker than last year, so we can have a look and get a good gauge of what the cars can potentially do here. 32.3. Oh, look at you guys. You're all in there. 32.2. So on it. You're so on it. I didn't even get a chance to look there. So 32.2. So we are still over 2.5 seconds back, really, aren't we, from the lap time of last year. So these cars, yeah, definitely a lot more pace in there for them. 34.2 for Max. That's a good improvement overall. Antonelli up to P5. What the hell's a polar bear doing in Vegas? It's getting colder as well. Track temperature was 13.5 degrees when we started this session, or 13.7. It's now 13 degrees. So getting colder out there. I think most will do a medium soft race. Yeah, probably. Or a soft to medium race. We have seen safety cars here in the past as well, so that's always thrown a spanner in the works. It's a strategy. So, only 1.5 minutes remaining of this session. Are we going to get any more push laps out there? Is Hamilton going for another push lap? No. He may get another one in. But tricky to find some space out there right now. Liam Lawson's going quick, though. First and second sector. Bold prediction, 1 red flag from a drain cover, 1 VSC from a crash into the barriers, 5 DNFs, of which 2 mechanical. I do suspect we'll see some mechanical failures here this weekend. We always generally do tend to see that because of how late in the season it is, and they hit some very high top speeds here, very high top speeds. So that also puts pressure on the engine, doesn't it? So Russell, fastest in the first sector at 26.8, our race winner last year, remember. So I think Lewis Hamilton's going to go for 1 more push lap. We have 40 seconds remaining of this session. Oh, there's a yellow flag. Who's gone deep into turn 14 there? Was that Bortoletto? Bortoletto went deep into turn 14. Lots of runoff at the end of turn 14, remember. Russell, 31.5. Wow. He's going... He's just dunked 2 temps on Verstappen in that in that middle sector. Almost 3 temps, actually, in that middle sector. The McLarens aren't that slow, but it looks miserable. Yeah, they're down in 19th and 20th. Don't look at that fate. Don't take that with a pinch of salt, guys. They haven't put any. They haven't gone for any like proper push laps. Ooh, Verstappen responds to Russell's fastest first sector as Russell sets a 34.0. And Alonso's just gone deep into turn 14 now. So checkered flag, but we do have drivers out there on some push laps. As you can see, lots of green sectors across the board. There's a purple sector from Max Verstappen in the first. Did he get held up by Ocon and Hamilton, though, in that middle sector there? So he might have been held up a little bit as he went into turn 11. Yeah, and Max has gone deep into turn 12. So Max Verstappen, with a bit of traffic there, just went deep into turn 12. So we're not going to see what he could have done there on this push lap, which is a bit of a shame. Oh, it says it's actually track surface slippery. Oh, it is. Oh, there was some specks of water on... There's specks of water on the camera of Max Verstappen. And as he went through turn 9, it was maybe raining. And it is raining at the end of this session. It's raining. You can see here, guys, at the top of your screen, which I have highlighted, it's raining right at the end of FP3. So, yeah, slippery out there at the moment. It's only a little bit. It's only a little bit of rain, but it's enough on what is already a greasy circuit, a greasy Vegas circuit. So, why are McLaren so low? They just didn't really do any proper push laps. Or weren't able to get proper push laps in. So Lando went out very early on a set of softs. So they'll improve. They'll improve. What is the forecast like for quali? We'll have a look in a second, but you can see there, look, lots of notifications of track surface slippery. Of course, the barometer of whether it is always raining is up here. So the FIA are indicating that it is raining by their standards. So yeah, a wet quali has to help McLaren a little bit, level the playing field. Yes. Yeah, I think so. Hopefully next year will be Max versus George. Yeah, that would be... Max versus George championship would be absolutely golden. So let's have a look at the weather report. I mean, this is just the BBC. But that's looking quite high, to be fair. So this is what I've got right now. So... And you can see 27%. So that's shot up. That did shoot up. There was at no point 27%. And you're talking qualifying is in 2.5 hours time. That's 8 to 9 o'clock local time. That's looking like 38, 39. Even the grid we saw earlier on, it wasn't even particularly that wet. It wasn't particularly that wet when it came to the surface itself, like standing water-wise, but it was very greasy, and that's why we saw the intermediate tyre. So, going to be interesting. It's 9 p.m. local time, so yeah, there you go. You saw that there, but it's upwards of like 38% or something, so... What time is Q1, Jack? Q1 is starting at 4 a.m. local time for me. As Bearman says, it's impressive. It doesn't take a lot of rain to really fuck things up. That's a great message by Bearman, but a very true message as well. Yeah, not a lot of rain for it to really make this very cold track surface completely different to and suitable for slicks. So... yeah, qualifying is going to be intriguing. Qualifying is going to be very intriguing if we do see these conditions, and it's going to be a real mixed-up grid. We could see McLaren's 19th and 20th. You never know. You never know. And it could be a very long qualifying in a few hours' time. So... what else I see here? So, I think it's past Toto's bedtime. He looked tired. Yeah. I have woken up, actually. I have woken up, but I will be trying to get at least an hour in before quali in a few hours. But there we go, guys. Russell tops the timing screens. We started to see, of course, the track ramp up before we then saw at the very end there some specks of rain, which really did throw drivers off, as stated by Lee Bearman. And Max Verstappen got caught out by that as well with a big lock-up into turn 12. So, yes, take Piastri and Norris's times there at face value. There's big, big improvements for them. Hamilton, Ferraris do look a lot better than what their lap times indicated there. Track evolution is key here, of course. If you're able to set a lap time in very late, then you're going to go much quicker than everyone else. But we're still, this just shows the track state right now, is that we are still, nearly 2 seconds off of pole position of last year. So that's how slow the track is, that's how slippery it is, and you can see an indication there at the top that it is raining. So going to be interesting qualifying session, and I highly recommend everyone tunes in for it. Of course, hit the like button, guys. Only 194 likes at the moment. Let's get your stream to over 200 likes. Much appreciated. Hit the subscribe button as always, and yeah, we are going to see you in a few hours time. I'm going to try and get a little nap in between, because it will really help me. And I'll make sure that I've got a coffee for qualifying. So, yeah, wherever you are in the world, guys, have a good couple of hours. It's going to take you straight over to the live stream, the quali live stream now, where I'm going to run a poll of who we think is going to get on pole position. But it might be a completely irrelevant poll for pole, because if the weather has anything to say for it, it could be a really topsy-turvy one. So I'm looking forward to it. Have a lovely rest. Have a lovely couple of hours, guys, and we'll see you then. Bye.